Good morning. President Bola Tinubu has officially confirmed that Nigeria has reached out to Turkey for military assistance to help tackle the escalating security challenges facing the nation. The president made this disclosure during a meeting with leaders of the Christian Association of Nigeria at his Lagos residence on Friday, and the announcement has generated significant discussions across the country about what this partnership could mean for Nigeria's fight against terrorism, banditry, and other security threats that have plagued different regions. According to the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, who released the official statement, President Tinubu explained that Nigeria had previously ordered 4 attack helicopters from the United States, but these helicopters are taking longer than expected to arrive. The delay in receiving these crucial military assets has affected how Nigerians perceive the administration's commitment to addressing the security situation, and this is where Turkey comes into the picture as an alternative partner that can provide faster assistance. The president acknowledged that while the mood of the nation remains peaceful, the country's ungoverned spaces are vast and the security challenge is very real, though he expressed confidence that Nigeria will overcome these obstacles. This development comes at a particularly sensitive time because just days before this announcement, there was a joint military operation between Nigeria and the United States targeting terrorist positions in northwest Nigeria. President Donald Trump had announced that American forces conducted airstrikes in Sokoto State, killing multiple terrorists he claimed were targeting Christians. The Nigerian government confirmed these strikes happened with their cooperation, but the timing and the way the information was released sparked controversy. The opposition People's Democratic Party criticized the federal government for not informing Nigerians about the strikes before President Trump announced them on social media, raising questions of sovereignty and communication protocols when foreign powers conduct military operations on Nigerian soil. The security situation that has prompted Nigeria to seek international assistance is multifaceted and deeply concerning. In the northeast, Boko Haram and the Islamic State in West Africa have been active for over 15 years, and despite military gains, these groups remain resilient. Reports indicate that in this year alone, these terrorist organizations have overrun more than 15 Nigerian military outposts, with some attacks featuring sophisticated equipment, including night vision technology. The Lake Chad Basin region has witnessed nearly 4,000 fatalities linked to militant violence, demonstrating that the threat level remains extremely high. The Northwest presents its own unique challenges, with bandit groups operating with increasing audacity in states like Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna, and Niger. These armed criminals have displaced thousands of farming communities, creating food security concerns as people abandon their lands out of fear. In November, one of the worst mass abductions since the year witnessed over 300 students and staff taken from a school in Niger State, and tragically, Boko Haram fighters ambushed and killed a Nigerian brigadier general along with 4 other security personnel in Borno State. These incidents paint a picture of security forces stretched thin and struggling with limited resources, inadequate intelligence gathering capabilities, and insufficient surveillance technology to monitor vast ungoverned territories. If you are finding this information valuable and want to stay updated on critical national issues like this, now is the perfect moment to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications, because we keep you informed with accurate, timely reports that matter to your daily life. Turkey's emergence as Nigeria's new security partner is strategically significant for several reasons. Over the past decade, Turkey has developed a robust defense industry, producing everything from drones to armored vehicles and sophisticated surveillance systems. Turkish-made Bayraktar drones have gained international recognition for their effectiveness in various conflict zones around the world, and this technological capability is precisely what Nigeria needs to monitor its vast ungoverned spaces and track terrorist movements. Unlike some Western partners who sometimes attach human rights conditions to arms sales that can delay procurement processes, Turkey has shown itself willing to engage in defense partnerships with fewer restrictions, making it an attractive option for countries needing rapid capability enhancement. President Tinubu's conversation with the Christian Association of Nigeria also touched on other security reforms his administration is implementing. He mentioned that plans for community and state policing will become reality once the National Assembly completes necessary legislative processes, acknowledging that acquiring military equipment is both expensive and challenging because such hardware is not readily available on the international market. The president called on religious leaders to work with his administration towards achieving the nation's collective aspirations, emphasizing that some measures his government has taken need time to mature before Nigerians can see tangible results. The Turkish partnership represents Nigeria's attempt to diversify its defense relationships beyond traditional allies like the United States and United Kingdom. For Turkey, partnering with Nigeria opens doors to Africa's largest economy and most populous nation, providing a strategic foothold in West Africa that extends beyond just military cooperation into potential economic partnerships. For Nigeria, this relationship could potentially lead to technology transfer agreements enabling local production of certain defense equipment, which would create jobs and build domestic capacity over the long term rather than relying perpetually on foreign suppliers. However, critics have raised valid concerns about the financial implications of purchasing expensive military hardware when Nigeria faces significant economic challenges, including high inflation, currency depreciation, and massive debt servicing obligations consuming substantial portions of the national budget. Many Nigerians are struggling with rising costs of living, and there are questions about whether the country can afford sophisticated weapon systems when healthcare facilities lack basic equipment and schools need renovation. Government officials counter these concerns by arguing that without security, economic development becomes impossible, and the cost of inaction far exceeds the investment needed to properly equip security forces. The announcement about Turkey comes against a backdrop of Nigeria's complex relationship with the United States regarding security cooperation. While the recent joint airstrikes against terrorist targets show active cooperation, there are underlying tensions about how such operations are communicated and concerns about sovereignty when foreign militaries conduct operations on Nigerian territory. Some critics, including religious leaders, have called for Nigeria to halt military cooperation with the United States and instead focus on what they describe as more neutral countries like China, Turkey, and Pakistan for defense partnerships. What remains uncertain is the specific timeline for when Turkish assistance will materialize and what form this cooperation will take. Will it involve immediate delivery of surveillance drones? Will Turkish military advisors come to Nigeria to train security personnel? Will there be joint intelligence sharing mechanisms established? These details have not been made public yet, but Nigerians will be watching closely to see whether this partnership translates into improved security conditions in their communities or becomes another announcement without tangible results. The coming weeks and months will reveal whether Turkey's involvement can help Nigeria turn the tide against the multiple security threats destabilizing different parts of the country, and whether the combination of American helicopters and Turkish technology can provide the force multiplier Nigerian security agencies desperately need to protect citizens and restore peace to troubled regions. This is a developing story that we will continue monitoring, so stay connected with us for updates as more information becomes available about this significant diplomatic and security development.